is the Farm Journal, where we engage on matters agribusiness. My name is Fred Makori.
And I'm Victoria Amunga. In April this year, President Uhuru signed an agreement with the Chinese market that allowed Kenyan avocados to find a market in China.
That's right, and this effectively made avocados the second farm produce from Kenya to penetrate the expansive horticultural market in China.
Now, this comes as good news to farmers all over the country, as most of them are racing against time to tap into this opportunity.
So on today's episode, we focus on the business of farming avocados. Avocado is native to the Americas, where it is divided into 3 subspecies: Mexican subtropical, Guatemalan semi-tropical, West Indian tropical. Researchers believe that humans began cultivating avocados about 5,000 years ago. It was introduced to Kenya in 1930s by the Portuguese. It was first cultivated for commercial purposes in the 60s. Avocado is a pear oval or nearly round shaped. The skin of a ripe avocado varies in color based on the variant. It may be green, deep green, dark green, or a dark purple that appears nearly black. Avocado has over 40 variants, but in Kenya, 2 variants are commonly grown. These variants are the Hass variant, grown mainly for export market, and Fuerte variant, grown mainly for processing. These 2 variants grow about 120 trees per hectare. It is advised to space the trees with 9 meters by 9 meters for maximum yield. Plant the tree rows on an east to west orientation for maximum sunshine exposure. Avocados grow well in a warm to cool climate at an altitude of 1,500 to 2,100 meters above sea level. Avocados require 1,000 to 1,600 millimeters of rain well distributed across the year. It requires an optimum temperatures of between 15 and 24 degrees centigrade with an average 2,000 hours of sunshine a year. Avocado thrives on 1 meter of topsoil that is permeable and free draining with adequate moisture retention. The best soils should be medium sandy loam with a pH of between 5.5 to 6.5. Propagation is mainly from seeds or seedlings. Grafting of seedlings is commonly used to increase yield, resistance to diseases, adaptation to different soils, as well as convenience to the farmer due to the dwarfing effect of the grafted variants. Avocado starts to yield 3 to 4 years after transplanting. However, economical yields start at the 6th year, with trees above 5 years yielding about 800 to 1,000 kilograms per hectare per year. This is about 80,000 to 100,000 fruits. In Kenya, avocados are harvested between March and September, depending on region and variant. In Kenya, avocado is farmed in Murang'a, Kiambu, Nyeri, Embu, Makueni, Meru, Kisii, and Nakuru counties. And so on today's episode, I speak to Mr. Francis Ng'ang'a, who takes us through his business of farming avocados.
And on the market front, I explore the available consumer markets both locally and beyond.
Asante sana kwa kutukaribisha hapa. We are grateful that you've welcomed us to your farm. And so today we just want to talk about the business of farming avocados. And before we get into it, probably you just need to know who you are, where you've been, what you've done, and then now eventually we'll talk about avocados.
Welcome to my farm, Bwana Makori. I'm very happy when you called me to say you wanted to visit me. I made sure I wait for you. You all look very decent young men, and this country is looking forward to really engaging with young men of your caliber. We want to encourage other young men to follow suit. I see you have not drunk beers, you are not smoking. That has encouraged me.
Thank you.
So my name is Francis Ng'ang'a. You may be interested to know I am the former Secretary General of Kenya National Union of Teachers. And I worked with the Teachers Union for a long time until I retired in the year 2009, 4th September 2009. That's when I retired. So
you actually remember the date?
Yeah, I remember the date.
Yes.
I have made now 10 years since I retired.
Wow.
And therefore, when I retired, I then had to get into other engagements because I could not stay in the house.
Yes.
My wife required some provision, and therefore I had to continue looking for that. And also have my children, the grandchildren, and the neighbors to also walk along together.
True.
But my keen interest is in the farm.
So
when I retired, I have concentrated in my farms. And like you say, you came to see our avocado trees. We have planted a number of trees.
Now let's talk about these avocados.
Yes.
How did you decide that you want to do farming of avocados?
It just came by the way. I did not plant avocados as a matter of planning to plant avocados. I am a student of Professor Wangari Maathai. I love her so much because she worked so hard to improve the environment, our environment. Therefore, I started planting trees the way I saw Wangari Maathai doing. Therefore, in my whole life, my whole working life, and even when I was in the union, my spare time, I was always planting a tree. So somehow, one of my farm hands told me there are seedlings being sold at a certain center, and they are green. And they produce fruits. I said, go and bring a few. So we started planting. Akaniambia nimekorofia. Hata sikuwa na habari. You know, I was so busy with union activities. I had very little time to concentrate on little things. Nikamwambia lete, akaleta tukapanda. Leta ingine tukapanda. Even these ones you see here is among those my hard boy brought. Later on, it came to be hii mikrofia ni avocados. Inaitwa hash, atina inatoka pesa. So when they started producing, some people came to buy. And I said, somebody gave me 20,000 shillings. It was so sweet.
Yes.
Then I said, what kind of tree is this? A tree growing and producing fruits, and the fruits bring money. Then I started planning to add these kind of trees. Therefore, I have now concentrated in planting the avocados in plenty as against merely planting the Wangari Maathai trees. So I have those natural trees, but I am now determined to plant as many avocado trees as possible, because you can also agree with me, a tree that grows and when it produces, you climb up, you harvest, and you are given money. That's the best tree.
Because you see now it covers your goal of planting trees.
Yes,
and then it gives you
getting money.
Yes.
And therefore it removes me from the begging table to a table where I can share with my old friends.
Yes.
That's how I started. I did not plan to plant.
Yes.
It was, by the way, it is one of my hard farms who introduced me to them.
Okay.
But now
you're here deliberately planting them.
Now I'm deliberately planting.
Yes, and running it sort of like a business.
We have not reached there.
Yes.
But very soon,
yes,
in a short while to come, it will be business.
All right.
Yeah.
And so far, can you take us through how much of it you have done? How many of these trees that you have planted,
Yes.
and how you're going about now increasing the plantations of?
So far, we have over 2,500 trees in my various shambas, and I intend, because of the size of the shambas, I may not be able to plant many more, but I intend to add a few trees to make about 3,000 trees. If I can have about 3,000 trees, then I can take care of them and maybe look for an opportunity to buy an extra farm somewhere, still to plant more trees. But it's safe to say we have about 2,500 trees at the moment, all over in the various pieces of land we have.
All right.
Yes.
And specifically avocado, how has it been treating you? Now, I think it's been a lot of years since you started. You can tell us a bit about that journey.
I can tell you, since I started harvesting the first time, I saw some money. I was not expecting money from the tree.
Yes.
Then the second harvest, it increased. Last year was a very good year because the yield was high. And last year we harvested about 350 fruits. And that one, in that season, it brought about 3.5 million.
Yes.
And within a season, within a duration of about 4 or 5 months. So you see, that's not little money for a retired officer. So when you get this kind of money, you see your wife will move around happy because she has something to cook, some dress to buy.
Yeah.
And the children will come visiting you because they know
there's something at home.
They agree to you are not sad.
Yes.
They want to see you in that mood.
Yes.
And now this year, the harvest doesn't look very promising. I think they vary.
Yes.
But still you can see, like today we have about 15 workers, as you see them now, picking them in this shamba. And after picking here, they'll go to another shamba. They'll pick. We might pick about 30,000 pieces today, and then take for export to those who export. It is not bad. Last week we harvested about 50,000 pieces, and in the next 2-3 weeks we'll harvest another about 40,000 pieces. Yeah. So we are busy.
Yes, it's a farm that keeps you busy and keeps you going.
Busy. I have no time to think the good days, the good old days. And I would like to advise my friends. It's wrong to keep imagining, hey, when I was an MP, when I was a Secretary General, I used to touch money this way and this way. And then you develop anger and the bad feelings. For me, I'm starting work today. Tomorrow, I'm planning on what I'm going to do. I'm planning for the end of the year. I'm planning for next year. Because I want to engage a professional person who will be taking care of all these trees and the tea. Therefore, my plan is by next year I start things afresh with better professional structures. Therefore, I have not yet started work. I am going to start work by next year. Serious work. Therefore, to me, to think about 10 years when I retired, or to think about next year when I will be very desperate, does not come.
It's not there.
I am focusing on every day. I'm very busy. And moving around the Shabas is very satisfying to me because I'm a country boy. I was brought up country. I'm a country man. I'm like a fish. When a fish is in the water, it's very happy. Home. So for me, when I'm here, now this is my cake. This is my cake.
All right, and you mentioned about the workers. So can you tell me a bit about how you engage with these workers who run maybe the harvesting and just dealing with the avocados? Okay, some of them are employed permanently, and the others we engage during the high season. Therefore, they mix up. I have a full manager. So who is on the farms every day, and we have facilitated him with the transport as a motorbike, so he can go there, he can go elsewhere to coordinate, because in every farm there are workers there, about minimum of 5 in every farm. Therefore, the manager keep moving around, and his role is to supervise. A season for harvesting avocados like now, we also call some other casual workers to come and support our core team so that the work can be easier. But because you can see it's a lot of work, like now they have harvested all this, you can see now is taking them up and putting them in the chest, in the crates, to put them in the vehicle, and then go to another farm and another farm. So we have no problem with the workers. We're taking a short break, but we continue this discussion when we come back. Keep it Metropole TV.